Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Reverse Hive Mind. I'm your pal Sutherland, and this is Lost Judgment. And we're back at the Yagami Detective Agency to progress the main story. So we're going to go up to our office and see what the next part of this holds in store for us. Rain, apparently.
Kaito-san, I'm back. Kaito-san?
Hey, did you see that email from Tsukumo?
Huh?
It wasn't that long ago. It's something you gotta see, though.
What is it? Something happened?
It's the murder footage. Mikoshiba's murder ended up on the internet. It's going viral on all the social media sites.
You gotta forgive me. I'll do anything you want. I didn't know he'd do it. I swear. Toshiro-kun was okay. I didn't know he'd kill himself. I really didn't know. I swear I'll try to make it up to him somehow. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it. Stop it.
What the hell?
Stop it. Stop it.
Ehara.
Ehara has an alibi for this, doesn't he? They already found him guilty, and that's the whole reason he couldn't have killed Mikoshiba, right? But if that's the case, what the hell is this? One way or another, either this thing is staged, or his entire alibi was a massive cover-up. They can't both be true. But there's something I just can't shake. If you want my opinion on it, this looks real.
I need to have another chat with Ehara. Damn it. I'm not gonna let him get away with this.
Well, holy crap. That's quite a bombshell to start this video off with, wouldn't you say? Watching the actual footage of the murder that this whole game's surrounding, or that the events of this game surround.
A train groping and a murder seem to occur simultaneously. Yagami relentlessly pursues these cases, attempting to poke holes in each. After confronting Akihiro Ehara, the key figure in both crimes, he witnesses a harrowing video that provides more questions than answers. In it, a bound man pleads for his life, but his attacker, bound by vengeance, snuffs it out.
Kitty. Well. Kaito's just been sitting there
So the
chain
murder
smoking.
footage is already making the rounds online. I don't think it's showing up on TV, though.
Yeah, the net's a mess right now. It's all unsubstantiated rumors and unverified sources. Typical, really. An ex-cop going from by-the-book sex offender to vigilante avenger overnight is prime forum drama. Sentiment seems to be swinging in favor of Ehara, but there's plenty of folks on the fence about it, too. The reactions have been all over the board.
Do we know if that video is authentic? I mean, CG has come a long way, right?
Oh, or perhaps a deep fake. That is plausible. AI has reached the point where it can generate pretty convincing facsimiles. Someone even made a video that made it look like the US president was saying a bunch of crazy stuff. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Deep fakes are only getting more authentic looking.
Can't guys like you tell if a video is fake or not, though? Aren't there any signs?
Oh, there are several telltale signs of a video being doctored. So I ran every check I could think of on the murder footage. Wouldn't you know it, nothing came up. Most likely, we're looking at the real deal.
Most likely?
Well, no one can claim with absolute certainty that it wasn't altered in some way. Which means it's not substantial enough to prove Ihara's guilt. At least not in a court of law.
Gotcha. Do you know when and where the footage was uploaded?
It was posted sometime last night, but the source is too hard to pin down. The uploaders spread it across multiple servers overseas in a well-concerted effort to hide their tracks.
Makes sense. But I'll bet it ultimately came from Mikoshiba's killers, no matter how real or fake it is.
How do you figure?
Think about it. No one could have staged that unless they knew the specifics of how Mikoshiba was killed. From how he was positioned to little things like the blood on the ground, every last detail was just as the detectives described it.
That's a good point. All this browsing's really taken a toll on the old pinky. Looks like another visit to Ihara might clear things up. You should ask Shirosaki-sensei about it.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
Okay, so new information was added to the harassment at Shinjuku Station case, which was Ihara's. Looks like it's going to be his alibi now. So I don't think there's anything new there. Evidence-wise, his transit card saying he passed through Ikebukuro Station at 7:43 a.m. The security footage, train car security footage of him groping the lady. Overhead station platform view, which is what we looked at. Aha! Hiro Mikoshiba's murder footage, which we watched. Shows Akihiko Ihara in a white raincoat murdering Mikoshiba while he's tied to a chair. Which the evidence does seem to line up with all that. Yeah. And honestly, with the way that Mikoshiba was killed, with his throat being slit from basically ear to ear, and just the closeness of all that indicates that there is a lot of rage, and obviously that the killer was this was personal for the killer and against his victim. It's like when you see somebody who's been stabbed, not just once or twice, but 5, 10, 15, 20 times. I actually have seen one of those before, and it was a murder involving domestic violence. So obviously a lot of passions, things like that, that are involved. So most likely, the evidence is pointing at Ihara. This does seem to be real, which makes me wonder about the other footage of Ihara being arrested at the Tokyo station, or Shinjuku. So that's part of Tokyo. So makes me wonder if that's a deep fake, and maybe they had a fall guy that was supposed to get himself arrested and impersonate Ihara, so he can then end up in prison and have an alibi for that. But yeah, they updated the whole case file. Yeah. So let's get a move on. We'll talk to Kaito, who sounds like he's just been up all night chain smoking, watching that video over and over, which is not good for your mental health, by the way.
Let me get this straight. Ihara went and felt a lady up on the day Mikoshiba got killed on purpose? If that's the case, Why the hell would he upload a murder confession after the fact? Is he trying to get caught?
Only Ahara could answer that one for you. I want to ask him that question myself.
So, we're off to see Saori-san then? What is it?
Ihara is definitely spreading a message. And I think it's based upon not only is he getting revenge for his son's suicide, where he believed Mikoshiba bullied him to the point that he wanted to kill himself, but I didn't realize Kaito was following us. But on top of that, he's also basically putting a thumb in the eye of the system, just in general, because the system was the one who failed him in that regard. You know, the school failed to act when his son was being bullied. The courts failed to produce any sort of evidence when the witness was coerced. So I think that Ihara is angry at the whole damn system and just wants to see it burned. Excuse me. I was just coughing a little bit. My throat's getting kind of dry. Anyway, enough spitballing. Let's head over to Gendala and talk to Saori. See what she has to say about all this nonsense. Hey, Beef Zone. That cow is like... I'm so sad it's in now. It was out on the street in the last judgment. You could kick it into people and all sorts of fun stuff. Let's fight. I feel like fighting.
Let's play.
All right. We'll just do a quick little slide there. What's up, dude? Don't come at me like that.
What a waste.
All right. Oh, another 480 SP. On our way. Speaking of that, let's check out our skills. 36k. Let me see. I wanted to say I was doing something that was worth 40k. I think it was the attack boost. Let's look at what else we got. Tiger. Yeah, I think we're going to keep working on that. Do the health, why not? Alright, so... I need to learn some crane skills and some snake skills. Then once I learn all those, then we can do the EX health boost and have a truly massive health bar. Which, especially when you get later fights that are kind of cheesy and bullshit, the larger health bar does help. Not gonna lie. So... here we are.
Oh, hold the door, please.
Huh? Mafia, you're here?
It's been too damn long, Mafia-chan.
Yeah. By any chance, Yagami-kun, are you working on a case for Saori? A video got leaked. It depicted a man committing a murder.
Yep. Our favorite prosecutor. From the last game, Mafuyu. An old flame of, well, sort of old flame of Yagami's too. So Mafuyu is a public prosecutor for the Tokyo office. She's also best friends with Saori-san ever since college. Two talented lady hotshots of the law on opposing sides of the courtroom. Apparently they have a bit of a fan club. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth.
Are you here about the Ahara case too?
Of course. The prosecutor's office is in total chaos right now, especially the higher-ups.
I'll bet. After all, they're the ones who pushed for Ahara's battery conviction. If that video is real, that would mean Ahara got them to hand him a slap on the wrist instead of a murder conviction.
Yes. And it's not like the prosecution can say, "Sorry, Your Honor, we'd like a do-over," after the fact. To make matters worse, everything leading up to the trial was broadcast all over the news. Changing our tune now would undermine public trust.
That's for sure.
So, for the time being, our department is trying to predict how the defense will approach the situation. Hence why they sent me here to check in on my good friend Salary. Totally no strings attached.
Well, that clears up a lot.
There you kids are. Figured you had to show up sometime.
And,
Matthew, you're caught up in this too?
Yeah, she ran into us downstairs.
I'm sure you can work out that I'm here to spy on you. But wouldn't you like to know what we're up to as well?
Are you sure that's your only mode of coming here?
Sorry?
Something like a professional excuse to see Yagami-san?
In your dreams? I had no idea Yagami-kun was involved until just now.
All right, I'll accept that. For now.
Gotta say, I miss this little banter.
What? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Needless to say, our office is going through this footage with a fine-tooth comb. That said, they've already determined their stance. They've deemed it an unreliable source and therefore useless as evidence. Basically, they want it to look like it was considered and already thrown out.
Huh? So, they're not gonna verify the video? Not even question Ahara about Mikoshiba? Nothing?
Nope. Not after it was proven in court that Ahara committed sexual battery on October 7th. I mean, wouldn't you say a conviction has a certain finality to it? Besides, there's no way Ahara could have murdered Mikoshiba within that limited time span.
Right.
Which means the murder video doesn't really add up, does it?
What are you getting at?
I'm saying, the prosecution believes the video has been falsified. Special effects, CGI, whatever it is, we're not buying it.
Huh.
Furthermore, the prosecutor pushing that stance was the one who handled Ahara's trial.
And that is...
His name is Sadao Takano. He was the one gunning the hardest for Ahara the first time around, especially considering his officer status. He kept insisting justice be served, which got the public behind him rather quickly.
He certainly looked the part of the people's prosecutor, grilling Ahara in court.
So what you're saying is, Takano could never accept anything but Ahara's original sentence. Since this footage of the murder contradicts that finding, he just thinks it's a sham.
Yes, and he'd add that a fair trial's result can't be challenged by some video on the internet.
Well, who could honestly trust a system that changes its mind so easily? Both the prosecutor's office and the court are beholden to the case as Takano-kun presented it.
But that's just sweeping the issue under the rug.
It has a domino effect, too. The police are beholden to the verdict we got, so their hands are tied. This applies to both Tokyo and Kanagawa.
Really? Why's that?
Supposedly, they don't want to get involved with Ehara until they're sure the video is real. If they come in with a list of questions about the murder, it'll show that doubt's being cast on the original ruling.
Yeah, but no one can prove that the video's real.
Right. There's no way to verify the legitimacy of an untraceable video. But if the police aren't allowed to see Ehara, he'll never even become a suspect in the murder. That means he's untouchable.
Exactly. None of the detectives are happy about that. Especially down in Kanagawa. Their job is to bring in a suspect, but their leads are all ending up at the same dead end.
Video footage of a murder preventing a police investigation instead of starting one. What an absurd situation. All because the court and the prosecutors don't want to lose face.
Until recently, people were lining up to bring Ahara to justice. Yet somehow his involvement in a murder totally derailed that.
Don't be so surprised. No cop would ever want to undermine a ruling based on their own findings. Anyone who wants to go against the grain's gonna need hard evidence on their side.
So the case goes cold, all to save face for the court and the prosecution. If Ahara really did commit murder, it'll have been the perfect crime. This debacle only serves as proof.
True. It would turn the trial into a farce. There's no way we're letting this go.
But wouldn't challenging this mean going up against the entire system?
Yeah. That scare ya?
Not at all. In fact, I was just thinking, we're the only ones who could take a case like this.
Ha! That's the good shit, kid.
This whole time, we've been writing off Ahara as a convicted sexual predator. But it's looking more and more likely the court played right into his hand.
Yep. It was a smokescreen.
As for me, I'm done being played for a fool.
Then you've heard what I came to say. And with that, I will be on my way. But if you need help, just ask.
I think we're good for now, but thanks.
That did clear up a lot.
No problem. See ya.
Was Mafiu-chan cuter than ever, or what? Think maybe it's time to light that flame again, huh?
How many times do I have to tell you? It's not like that.
Oh, come on, Yagami. Loosen up a little bit. Let's talk to Hoshino first.
Yagami-san, we should go see Ihara as soon as possible. I wonder what he'll have to say about the video.
Probably tell us to go piss up a rope. We shall see, though. I mean, he was practically dancing on Mikoshiba's grave originally anyway. He may just gloat and laugh that there's no way to prove either way if it's real or not.
Mafia-kun's pretty popular now, you know. A looker like her, I bet criminals line up for their day in court.
Very nice, Genda. Mafiu is quite pretty, though.
Anyway, what I'd like to do is ask Ahara about that video face to face. Any chance we could see him again?
I was actually about to suggest that. One moment. It's from Ahara's prison.
What?
Hello? Yes, this is Shirosaki. Yes, I can talk.
His prison? Why would they call us directly?
Guess we'll find out.
Understood. I appreciate the candor. That was one of the prison wardens. He was asked to convey a message from Ahara.
About what?
In short, he won't be speaking with his representation any further.
You're joking.
To be more specific, he said he's not taking any more questions. It seems he fully grasps the situation, even in custody.
How is that even possible?
I'm guessing the murder footage that was uploaded yesterday was also planned out in advance. That or Ahara's conspirators have to be filling him in. How else could he predict we'd try to see him again so soon?
I can see either of those scenarios making sense.
But only someone on the force could be leaking insider information to him like that.
Damn. This shit's turning into a full-blown conspiracy, eh, Doc?
Whatever it is, it's screwing up our plans.
Yeah, the timing couldn't have been worse. Now what are we supposed to do?
Come on. There are plenty of leads that don't involve grilling the culprit.
Yeah? I'd like to hear them.
Well, if it were me, I'd start with Saori-kun.
Okay.
The first thing I want to learn is whether Ihara is really the murderer in this footage. Given the entire sexual battery incident as an alibi, there is no way he could have murdered Mikoshiba. However, this new footage knocks the bottom out of that premise.
Right. Either his alibi or the murder footage. One of the two's been fabricated.
The groping or the murder. Right now, which one do we doubt more? Personally, I doubt the groping more. Especially because a lot of the security cam footages their security cam footage is going to be grainy. His co-conspirators could have easily doctored the other stuff that got released to the news media. If they were the ones filming him, they knew where he was going to be, knew when he was about to give himself up and get caught. Anyway. Let's do the groping incident was a
I
setup.
think we should revisit the harassment case. When the sentence came down in court, no one expected it to end up as a murder alibi. Plus, everyone suspected Ihara was working alone. He may have not been. All this makes a huge difference. No one would suspect a train groping to involve accomplices or alibis. The search for evidence wouldn't be as intense as for a murder.
But the entire incident was caught on camera, top to bottom. There's more than enough physical evidence, too.
Then we'll need to verify each and every aspect of the case.
Okay, what first? Should we investigate the crime scene again? Maybe we'll discover something new if we check out the station during the crime's actual time frame.
No, I think we saw everything we could there. Actually, if we're reviewing evidence, we could do that from right here, couldn't we?
What catches your eye specifically? I ask because fabricated evidence would likely show signs of tampering. This would prove Ihara's alibi doesn't hold up.
Let's see. What evidence was Ihara relying on to falsify his alibi? Okay, so the groper, we don't see his face there. At least not well. Let's see. So I'm thinking yeah, somebody who appears to be Ihara, who may not be. Let's look at that.
This part's still getting to me.
The security footage from Ikebukuro Station shows Ihara arriving at the platform around 7:50 a.m. He just stood there for over an hour until boarding the 906 train.
He was looking for a target, right?
Yes, but Ihara says he was deliberating whether to go through with seeing his wife. After all, the two are separated.
Could there be any chance this is an Ihara imposter?
Huh?
Using the hat and shades to make it less obvious? Think about it. If Ihara had a double, he'd be free to murder Mikoshiba in Ijincho at 7:30. Then a few hours later, just past 9 o'clock, he swaps places with the stand-in and gropes the victim.
I actually considered that possibility. But there wasn't an opportunity for any sort of swap to occur.
None at all?
See, Ihara was caught on multiple security cameras standing right by the victim as they board the train. And the camera inside the train car continues this unbroken footage. At this point, Ihara gropes the victim, as proven by the trace elements detected. Then once the train arrives at Shinjuku, Ihara flees the scene, and is promptly tackled by passers-by once the victim calls for help. After that, he's brought into police custody, and eventually booked into jail.
Man, I thought you had something there. A stand-in would have really fit the bill.
Right? Since we're pretty sure Ihara had accomplices, why not assume one could have been his stand-in?
As we discussed, there was no opportunity for any sort of person swapping to occur. The victim felt a hand reach up into her knee-length skirt, scaring her motionless for the full 6-minute ride to Shinjuku Station.
Could you describe the victim for me?
She's an office worker married to an industrial designer. Also has a 6-year-old son. Full name, Yui Mamiya, 30 years old.
Wife and mother.
Perhaps if we talk to Mamiya-san directly, she could give us more insight than that video. She may even recall something none of us know, upon learning Ihara's alibi might have been fabricated.
That's a good plan.
Oh.
We'll finally have a fresh source of info.
In that case, give me a moment so I can get a meeting set up. We should have her address and other information somewhere on file. Bear in mind, Mamiya-san was the victim here. As the assailant's defense, I doubt we'll get a warm welcome.
That's pretty standard for us, I'd say. Nobody rolls out the red carpet for a detective, right?
No.
Yeah. Say, Kaito-san, it looks like we've got some free time, so let's say we grab some food.
Now that you mention it, I am getting hungry.
Ah, yes, the detective's pastime. Lunchtime. Alright. We'll head back out into Kamurocho.
Huh.
Oh, we got some
You
surveillance.
think they want something? Bet it's not a friendly hello.
They do look like they mean business.
This Arcade's idea of an ambush? How basic.
Kaito-san, there's more.
Over there, too.
Same losers from yesterday. Guess they want to settle the score.
Looks like they rounded up some buddies and waited for us to show.
Well, whatever the hell they want, let's not get Genda-sensei and them involved. Follow me.
Okay.
Oh, apparently they're gonna block off the ways for us to go. So that's interesting. It looks like the RK gang has got something in store for us, and we're gonna figure out what it is next time. Take care, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us this far. Make sure to like, subscribe, and come back for more with the channel. Have a good one.